Hello YouTube, this is Goddard Radio Moscow here again with another beer review. Now I have one that might be quite interesting for you today, or quite random, however you want to look at it, but this one was recommended to me by the staff in my local odd bins in Aberdeen City, so this one should hopefully be quite interesting. But today we're going to go back to Greece. I've not done a Greek beer in a very long time. I think the last Greek beer that I did was the Mythos Lager, which is actually quite a mainstream beer these days. You can pick it up in a lot of the supermarkets in Scotland. But anyway, today we're going to look at the Septem Microbrewery's Monday Pilsner beer. So as is usual with my beer reviews, I've done the research on the brewery. Interestingly, this one didn't actually have a website, so I got all the information from a Facebook page, so I'll put the link for that in the description and you can have a little look at that if you're interested. But if you are simply just interested in the tasting of this beer, then feel free as usual to just fast forward towards the last few minutes of the video and you will catch that particular segment. But anyway, the Septem Microbrewery is very, very new. It was only founded back in 2009, I believe it was, but they're located in Orologio in the municipality of Kimi Alveri on the Greek island of Evia. Now this island is actually the one that's just to the east of the peninsula where Athens is located. I think Athens is actually the most southern point on mainland Greece, and I think it might actually be one of maybe the most southern point in Europe, apart from the little island of Lampedusa just to the south of Italy, but I might be wrong about that. I'm not too certain about the geography in that case. But the brewery is another one that's founded by a chemist, interestingly enough, but so it's founded by the chemist and oenologist Sophocles Panagiottou. I'm sorry if my pronunciation of the Greek names isn't quite right, and it was also founded by his economist brother Georgios. But their first batch of beer, as I mentioned, was produced in June of 2009. But for those of you wondering exactly what an oenologist is, it's basically somebody who studies wine and searches for the perfect structure and balance to bring out the perfect flavour from the wine. And the brewery apparently like to apply this approach to the production of their beers. So this one might be quite interesting, I would say. The fact that its brewing process has a bit of uniqueness about it. But they say that their vision is to become a premier Greek microbrewery whose products will be synonymous with gastronomic pleasure and be well known as a producer of quality beer with distinctive and authentic flavours. And they aim to be an innovative brewery that is committed to the protection of the environment. As I say, it's some quite interesting business aims and things like that they've got. It's quite cool. It's quite like the American craft breweries, actually, very concerned about their environmental impact. That's quite a big thing now in Europe with the European Union and things like that. But the word septem in Latin, which the brewery is named after, means seven, and they say that this signifies the days of creation from the Christian, I think the passage is called Genesis, I'm not sure, and they say that this has inspired them to create 7 beers named after each day. And the motto's brewery actually is every day has its unique taste, but at the moment they produced 5 different beers that bear the names of the different days. The other 2 I guess must still be in development. They have this one, the Monday's Pilsner, Thursday's Red Ale, Friday's Pale Ale, Saturday's Seasonal Porter, and Sunday's Honey Golden Ale, which apparently won medals at the International Beer Challenge in 2011 and 2012, so that must be quite good. But in addition to those 5 beers, they also have ACE or ACE, I'm not sure how exactly you say it, but this one is a double IPA, and they also have a Citra Hop IPA. But anyway, that was all the information I could actually find on the brewery. As I say, it's a very, very new one. There seemed to be a lot more stuff in Greek, but I don't speak Greek at all, so but I think it seemed to be that the stuff was right just under, the English translation was just underneath, so I guess that might be all the information that's there. But the beer does actually have a little bit of a product description on it. It says Septem in Latin means 7, the number of creation. Winemaker Sophocles Panagiottou has been inspired by the philosophy and ritual of winemaking to craft beers using 100% barley malt and fresh whole hops of the finest quality. And it's got his little signature on it there. It actually has a Best By date on it as well, which is the 30th of November 2013. So I guess I'm drinking this one just in time actually. This is the 28th today that I'm filming this one for you. So I'll just let you have a little closer look at the bottle. There's a lot of condensation on this one, but as you can see, there's the label there. There's the sort of Best By date on it, if you like. This one is I think it was a 5.2%. Where is it? It says 5% actually. It's a 5% Pilsner style beer. I'll just let you have a little closer look at that again. As you can see the label there, it has this little thing on the top here. For those of you interested in the bottle cap, if I just pull that back, you can see there it has the number 7 on the top as well, which is quite cool. But let's get this guy out and get on with the tasting then, I guess. But as it said in the description of this one, it's an unpasteurised and a filtered beer. So we'll get this guy out and get on with it. There we are. Just trying to stop these beers exploding on me as usual. But let's just get this guy out and get on with the tasting. It's actually got quite a distinctive smell about it just when you open it up. Nice bit of steam coming off it there. It's a nice, really bright golden colour there. Let's swirl the last little bit of it up. Yeah, there we go. As you can see, it's a really, really sort of bright golden colour, this one, which is quite interesting. What you would expect from a Pilsner beer, of course. As you can see, there's maybe a finger and a half of head, I would say. There's quite a lot of carbonation visible in this one, fairly kind of medium-sized bubbles I would describe this as, but as you see, the head's starting to die down a little bit now. If I shine this up to the light, it's pretty much crystal clear, if you like, maybe just a little bit of haziness about it, but looks pretty much like a Pilsner beer as you would expect it to. In terms of the aroma, definitely it smells the same. It smells like a German Pilsner actually, but yeah, you're getting the floral grassy hops. There is just a little bit of citrusy notes to it, but mainly the floral, and I would say floral and grassy character to this one. Maybe just some kind of hint of pine as well, but you're getting a lot of light malts, mainly the light malts and the sort of floral hops to this one, I would say. So let's give this guy a taste. Now that's quite different actually. I've never actually had a Pilsner that tastes quite like that. It really is, when you take this in, it's a very, very odd mouthfeel you get at the very start of it. It's quite interesting. I would say it's quite malty and bready, this one, and it's actually, it's a very, very unique taste, but it's very malty and bready. The citrus notes in this one are quite mild. It's mainly the grassiness you're getting, but there's something in there that's quite difficult to pick up exactly what it is. But it is, I would say, it's a very sort of different sort of bready kind of malt and things you're getting in this one. It's very unique in that sense actually. I've not tasted a Pilsner that seems to have this type of taste on it. I'm not quite sure exactly what it is, in honesty. It might just be, it's quite, when you take it in, the mouthfeel, it's light to mid-bodied, but the carbonation is actually making it very, very crisp. It might just be when you're taking it in. As I mentioned, there's quite a lot of carbonation visible in this one. It might just be the carbonation just sort of powering in when you take it in. That might be what it is. But yeah, the carbonation is like really, really attacking your tongue as you take it in, and it gives the beer a kind of unusual flavour, I would say. But as I say, the flavour is mainly that I can make out. It's bready, it's quite malty and quite bready at the same time. You're getting a lot of the malts with that kind of bready backbone to them, I would say. Quite light malts, in fact. The citrus notes are quite subdued, if you like. It's mainly a sort of, how would you describe it? It's mainly a grassy flavour that's coming through on this. There is quite a bit of bitterness actually on the aftertaste of this one. But yeah, you're getting the flavour as it's coming in. The carbonation's kind of making it quite bitter on the... It's making it quite bitter as you take it in, but then you're getting the sort of bready malts right away after, and then the bitterness kind of rebuilds itself back up as you get to the finish of it. It's a very unusual one in this. I've not encountered one that actually has this sort of feel and taste to it actually. It's quite interesting in that sense. I'm kind of just pondering over this one because, as I say, it is quite unusual. But yeah, I would say quite malty and quite bready. In a way, it does remind me of some German stuff, but it's quite a bit more bitter than German beer, I would say, in that sense. I think the carbonation is powering in quite a bit to the to your tongue as you take it in, and I think that basically changes the flavour a little bit. It's a bit strange in that sense, but in a way, it's quite interesting. It could well be the case that this bottle being very close to its sell-by date, maybe it's gone off a little bit or something, I don't know, but it's fairly nice actually. It's got that nice sort of bready backbone. It's the aftertaste actually where you're getting a lot of the flavour, and as I say, as you take it in, the carbonation is like really active on the tongue, and that kind of overpowers the flavour a little bit. but the aftertaste is really nice. It's quite bready, and you're also getting the sort of hoppiness to it as well, so it's quite cool in that sense. But as I say, this is quite a unique beer, so I hope this beer review has been informative for you. As I say, this is one that I've never really encountered one that is actually like this before. I don't know if this is quite standard for the Greek kind of Pilsner style beer, if you like, but I remember Mythos actually having quite a bit of carbonation and stuff in it, and it's, you know, maybe it's just a common thing for the Greek beer, I'm not quite sure. But anyway, I hope this beer review has been informative for you. This one is quite nice and it's quite unusual, so I recommend you give it a try and see what you think. If you've tried this beer yourself, please let me know in the comments section what you think about it. It's always interesting to hear that as well. But as is usual, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. I hope you've enjoyed this beer review. I think I'll be doing a Brewdog beer next. I've not done a Brewdog in quite a long time, and the Brewdog stockpile that I've mentioned in a few of the videos is growing, so I need to kind of get through it, otherwise I'll get shouted at by my mum when I go home for having so many beers. But anyway, as is usual, I'll catch you soon. Cheers.